Awesome. It looks like we are live. Happy Monday, everybody. If you're watching this live, happy Tuesday through, I guess it could still be Monday if you're watching the replay of this. As you log in, go ahead and say hello. Let me know where you're logging in from. And why don't you share with me what one of your highlights was this weekend? What was the best thing that you experienced this weekend? What was your best memory? Something to that effect. Listen, really quick message I wanted to share with you all today. Because this is I'm having one of those days, and I thought, there's a great message within this day I'm having that I could share with you all. And that's what happens. What do you do when things do not go the way you plan? So let me give you context first. I had this awesome day mapped out. I got up at about 3 o'clock this morning to get to the gym, and then got back from the gym, worked for a few hours, worked on this keynote I'm giving on Wednesday, was working on a few other things, because then after I got done with that, I had, I think like 8 phone calls lined up in a row. And the majority of those phone calls were with prospects, prospective clients, people I've never spoken with before, people I've never met before. I was fired up, right? It was setting up to be a really awesome day for bringing in new business, helping out some new people. I was excited about it, really excited about it. And I've been looking forward to the day all day. Got lots of momentum going, day's looking good. I'm on cruise control. And then I get ready to call my first person. Call him up, waiting, no answer. Call him again, waiting, no answer. I sent a text message, sent an email, sent a follow-up message, don't hear anything back. Okay, so there's one no-show, that's no good. Okay, time goes on, getting busy with some other projects, fill that time with other stuff. Always have, here's another little tip with this as an aside. If you're having one of those days like that, whenever you set up a day that's really stacked, I always recommend having some backups. Because as much as you can assume that everything's going to go super smooth and everybody's going to line up and everybody's going to be respectful of your time, may not always be the case. Always have a backup. Always have another project that you can get done, something else. Any of you who ever aspire to write a book, one of the best times to write a book is making little notations in those in-between times between appointments, because we all can find 5 minutes there. And I find sometimes some of the best writing and ideas come during those times. Next time, get ready for the next appointment. I get an email from them, have to cancel, we'll reschedule. 0 for 2. Okay, ready for the next appointment. No show. 0 for 3. It goes on and on and on. I have one more after this. And of the original 7 or 8 I had scheduled, I've actually spoken with 1 today. I've had 2 that have messaged me about rescheduling, and the other ones who just disappeared, didn't pop up. So here's the thing. What do you do? Now, there's lots of options available, but you know what the absolute worst thing you can do is? The absolute worst thing. Does anybody want to guess? The worst thing you can do in a situation like this is to blame the people who had made the appointments. The worst thing you can do is to blame the people who made the appointments, and here's why. As soon as you start blaming them and say it's their fault, they don't respect your time, they just didn't know how to do it, they don't know the technology, whatever it is, right? You remove all responsibility from yourself, and you set yourself up to learn absolutely nothing. Right? How can I learn? How can I grow? If I blame all those people, how can I improve? How can I get better? It sucks to take the full ownership, because then it might be a little blow to your ego. Oh gosh, maybe they don't respect my time as much. Maybe I didn't feel like I was as qualified as I, maybe it was. Maybe they found a better option than me. All those little voices can start popping up. And we can protect our ego by saying, oh, they're just an idiot. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't have anything planned. They don't respect me. They're doing this. They don't have this as a priority. This isn't priority enough for them. All those types of things. And guess what? Some of that may be true, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is when you're conducting your life, you're conducting your business, you and you alone are fully responsible for the quality of your life, the quality of your time, and how it's utilized. Now, as a business owner and a professional, I can sit there and blame everybody else, but that's not going to really accomplish what I ultimately want, which is to serve more people, to help more people, to make more of an impact in the world, to change more lives. And if I'm truly committed to that outcome, then I have to step beyond my own ego and look at what I can do to make the process better. How can I be more effective at following up? How can I be better at communicating up front and letting them know that this time is valuable? How can I confirm and reconfirm more effectively? What do I need to do to better qualify people on the front end to make sure that the people who are getting into my schedule are the people who belong there and deserve to have that time? The most important thing you can do is to take ownership. You have to take ownership, because when you take ownership is where you can learn. And it's where you can learn, you can get better, and you can improve. The second big tip I'd like to give to you all with this is, when you have something like this happen, you got to clear the energy. Clear the energy. I'm going to assume that this next person is going to show up. They have no idea that I've had this kind of day where I've had people cancel, people no-showing, all these types of things. They have no idea that I got up at 3 and anticipating for this day. They have no idea how excited I was about this day and how much I've battled voices in my head that have suggested, maybe you're this, maybe you're that. If I show up to that appointment carrying with me any of that other energy, I am not doing that person a service. They didn't sign up, nor did they book my time to get 50% of me. They signed up and booked my time to get 110% of me. You cannot be a service or as effective as you could be if you bring your own bullshit into any sort of meeting, whether it's with a client, a customer, a prospect, somebody else. It's just not going to happen. If your time is truly of value to somebody who's showing up and going to utilize it, you damn well need to make it of value by giving them your 110% best. And that means clearing the energy and letting go of anything and everything that happened before it. Whether you have to get up and down, jump up and down, do some push-ups, say a mantra to yourself. I have a whole bunch of little exercises I do. Sometimes what I do is I just make sure I laugh it off and say, well, and ask myself, what can I learn? And then I get motivated from what I'm learning from that. And then I take that into the next thing. So that's number 2, is clear the energy, clear the air. So the first one is take full responsibility. Second one is clear the energy, clear the air. The third thing is stay mission-driven, stay purpose-driven, right? There's a reason you're getting on the phone with someone. There's a reason you're meeting up with a prospect. There's a reason you're meeting up with a customer. There's a reason that you're coming together with a partner, whether it's in a relationship conversation or whatever it is. Whatever that mission is, whatever that purpose is, define it clearly to yourself and hold that in here and in here, so that when you show up to that, that's present. Because if I don't show up with that, and then I just allow myself to show up and say, okay, here I am like a little dog waiting for my treat, and then the treat doesn't come, meaning the person doesn't show up, what happens? My heart's broken, I get disappointed, I get let down. But if I show up with the mission in mind, if I show up with the purpose on my heart, yeah, do I get bummed out when that doesn't happen? But I go right back to the first 2. What's number 1? It's how am I responsible? What's number 2? Now I need to clear the energy because I need to reconnect with number 3. What's the mission? What's the purpose? So I show up with that with the next person. And the last thing I want to share with you all with this, number 4, ask yourself, what can you take away from this? How can you turn this into something? My video today is motivated and born out of the experience from today. I would not have had this message to share with you all, and judging by how many of you are on here and are commenting, I'm taking that this is resonating with some of you. And if it is resonating with you, go ahead and just type it in and say, yes, this is helpful, thumbs up, all those types of things. I would have not had this message to share had I not had this experience. So no matter what level you get at in life, in business, in relationships, etc., you are going to have days like today. And what is going to define your life, your business, your relationship, and the quality of it going forward from this moment on is how you handle it. Ego wants to blame everybody else. Purpose and mission is all about taking responsibility and asking yourself, how can I do better? How can I make this better? Remember, the people who show up, they don't deserve 50% of you. They deserve 110%. I did my best to show up and give you all in these few minutes we have together 110%. I don't want to carry the last however many hours with me and go, oh God, you guys, oh, the day was so unfair. It sucked. It was so wrong. And oh man, that's not what you came here for. You came here to have some tools, some strategies to make a profound difference in your life. And it is not going to make a damn bit of difference if I sit here and say, boy, I got really screwed over today. What will make a difference is saying, hey, this is what happened. And this is what I'm choosing to do with what happened. And this is what you can too. That's what I got with you all for you all today. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you have questions about this, comments, be sure to leave them. I will circle back around. I have this broadcasting on quite a few strings. Jennifer, Chelsea. Oh, I'm so glad, Jennifer and Chelsea. Thanks for saying it. Lacey. Hey, Lacey, are you still on here? Good to see you pop up on here. Angela is helpful. Awesome. Thanks so much, Angela, for saying that. Will, great points. Oh, Will, thanks for being on here. You know what I'm talking about. All right, everyone. We'll see you next time. Take care. Have an extraordinary rest of the day. Wherever you are, morning, noon, or night, remember, carpe diem. Seize this moment, live it to the best of your ability, and make it matter, because it's the only moment you have that's going to be like it. Make it count. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye-bye. It's going to take me a minute to close out of these because I have so many windows going. I'm really experimenting with this whole live thing.